one of our national monuments, and a lot of us visit them. In fact, the National Park Service says last year alone, more than 281 million people visited national monuments, seashores, recreation areas, and historic spots. So saving energy and protecting the environment have become critical, and the service has come up with different solutions. For example, boilers that supply heat to Yellowstone's Old Faithful Snow Lodge and Mammoth Hot Springs Hotel in Wyoming are now fueled by biodiesel. Solar panels have been installed to power Yosemite's administrative offices in California. Electric and hybrid park vehicles are replacing older, less fuel-efficient vehicles at Devil's Tower National Monument in Wyoming. And in Virginia, the National Park Service is using the Earth's consistent temperature to bring air conditioning and heat to the birthplace of one of the founding fathers, while keeping the historical look intact. Energy Now's Josh Zepps takes us down the patriotic path that led to an extreme home energy makeover.
When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for a home to be cooled in an energy-efficient manner, we ought to declare the means by which it is done.
This is George Washington's birth home. It's not Mount Vernon, that's 80 miles up the Potomac, and it's probably a bit different from how it looked in 1732. What it is the location of an archaeologically sensitive engineering project to bring cheap, clean geothermal cooling and heating to the birthplace of the nation's first president.
Okay, full disclosure, this house is actually a replica of the original, built in 1932. The real one burned down. But it is still a treasured icon, and it had a problem. How do you install 21st century eco-friendly cooling while respecting an iconic 18th century heritage? That was the challenge for John Jarvis, the director of the National Park Service.
You want the public, when they go there, to get a sense of what this looked like at the time. So you would never put solar panels on the roof of the George Washington birthplace because the public might get a little confused about that.
The solution? Geothermal heat pumps. There are roughly 1 million of these zero-emission systems installed across the United States. Now, for the average home, a geothermal pump system can cost anywhere between $10,000 to $30,000. The Geothermal Exchange Organization says that by using the system, homeowners could save up to 70% off their energy bills, meaning the system should pay for itself in about 10 years. For this archaeologically sensitive site, engineer Mike Strasberg had an idea of how to do it right. When I visited him on location as a non-American,
Good day.
I did my best to fit in like a local.
Well, we are going to be installing a geothermal system for the George Washington's birth home to provide air conditioning and heating. For the first time, they'll have AC in the house.
The system works because the temperature just a few feet underground is very consistent. No matter what the wacky Virginia weather does, underground here it's always 55 degrees. So if you pump water through pipes at the right depth, when it comes back, it too will be 55 degrees year-round and ready to heat or cool the home as needed.
This is where we'll be drilling the well field.
So this is where the pipes go in?
Yes.
And they go out to where?
They're going to go 200 feet way out into the peninsula. We're going to spread out as much as possible as we start here and drill away from each other.
While Mike and his crew were preparing to dig, I checked out what was being done inside the home.
The main geo unit would be down in the basement, but the blower section will be here in the attic. And so this way we can isolate the 2 floors. It's important so we don't have to do a lot of cutting to bring additional ductwork that we would normally have to do if we did one system.
If I were preparing to found a nation, this is a very pleasant place to do it.
Until, of course, the drilling starts.
You can see the ground shifting.
Yep.
And rising up as the drill goes in. So this is basically going to drill in, what, 200 feet out there?
Yep. It'll end up about 20, 30 feet deep, and we're drilling in at a nice
vibrating
angle.
under my feet. Part of the cool part of excavating, of course, is that you find all kinds of stuff. These streaks along here are old ash from a fireplace in the 1700s, probably a neighbor of George Washington's, and this is a piece of charcoal from the 1700s. It's cool stuff.
But halfway through the drilling, there was a glitch.
So the drill has bumped into something hard, something very hard.
Yes.
Something almost, may we say, potentially coffin-like. Could it be a coffin?
That's right.
It could be.
Could be anything.
Coming up next on Energy Now. George
Washington's coffin. The crew never did find out what the obstruction was, but after they worked around it and finished the job, I headed back to see the finished product.
So it's a very hot, humid day here in Virginia, but over here we've got the cool air that has just kicked on and is very pleasant and cool coming out of the existing fireplace. This is part of the new ventilation system, cold air.
It was clear that the spirit of innovation pioneered by the nation's first president is alive and well at the site of his birth. In Colonial Beach, Virginia, Josh Zepps, Energy Now.
Now, as for a geothermal system for your home, as Josh mentioned, the cost is in the tens of thousands of dollars. However, for now at least, the federal government is offering a 30% tax rebate for installations in residential properties, a 10% tax rebate for commercial sites. George Washington's birth home did not qualify for a rebate since it is already owned by the federal government. For more information about tax breaks for geothermal, you can go to our website, energynow.com.